What's up? This is a plugin called Gold Clip. It is modeled after the Lavery Gold Converter. It has a couple different settings on here. Box tone changes the high-end roll-off. Clipper, 3 different clipping settings. Gold, which is controlled by this knob here. As far as I understand, the earlier models are classic, which had 6 gold dBs, which you can see this thing getting thicker. Modern has 2. I think the year change when this happened was like in the early 2000s maybe. And then Alchemy over here, which kind of cleans up the high end if your clipping's too much. Output, which if you click this button, you can link them. So one goes up, the other goes down. And then you actually have a wet dry control here that is also linked or unlinked. You input LUFS, your amount of clipping, the maximum time or maximum dB clipped in your song or file, and then the time that happens, so you can set your maximum clip. Output LUFS, which shows you what it sounds like. Basically the difference from the plugin, like what's being clipped and stuff. And that's it. I'm gonna run it through some music for you. Basically, this is a track that I have spent a decent amount of time on trying to get like an old schooly warm tape saturation sound going on it. And I actually ran it through my old school tape machine, and then I added vocals. Then I reprinted that through some of my outboard gear, and then on this file, I'm basically in the master, but I added more vocals here, which in their bus actually have their own gold clip going on. I turned off all of my mastering stuff, and we're just gonna listen to gold clip basically shoving this whole track together. Here we go.
Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. Man, I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. I took a drive.
So your blue line is the ceiling of what's being clipped. So whenever you see something go over this clipper setting, and then we're gonna play with the golden stuff later, but whenever it goes over the blue, you're officially clipping. So I'm gonna play that beginning without changing too much with this on and on. Here's the bypass switch. Here we go.
Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. Man, I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. I took a drive through the old country just to find.
So that's a pretty fat sound. You can hear the difference of the vocals kind of gushing into the band. Now, when we start to play with these settings, you'll feel a lot different. And then this gold setting, basically, as far as I can understand it, it's compression without attack and release. So it's like instantaneous, which is harder to hear, but I think it's prioritized towards the quietest stuff, which theoretically pushes everything up into the clipping. I'll play with all these settings kind of just loop in this first little part, and you can hear all the differences.
Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. I took a drive through the old country just to find what I might see. My favorite thing was wearing polka dots. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine.
So your shapes here are pretty important. The hard is going to let the signal come all the way up to that ceiling and then just chop it off. Classic, you can kind of see, lets some of it come up and then kind of softens in, which is going to give you more saturation. And modern starts to do that saturation all the way through. So for the vibe of this song, I'm going for something that's classic, but I've already ran it through tape. I've already done quite a bit to it, that this modern seems to kind of round everything to where I want it. Gold, you can actually see represented in the thickness of these lines. If I turn that down, even now my mic is thinner. I'm gonna leave this on modern, kind of set this, and then I'll show you the difference between the modern and the classic clipping.
And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. I took a drive.
So for how much saturation that is already happening in this song, the classic becomes quite a bit. So I'm going to stick with modern on that. I'm going to show you this alchemy, which basically cleans up the mid to high range with the gold function, kind of adjusts like what materials being really, really hard clipped and whatnot. And then I'll show you this little mix knob.
Over me.
this song particularly, it just does a really, really nice job of stretching out and saturating those vocals so they feel more like there's a band happening, but somebody's telling you a nice story instead of like the vocals are inside of the band. So I'm going to go to this What's in Store for Me line and play with this alchemy knob, because that's kind of at the moment of this song where it really opens up and starts to shift.
What's in store for me? I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I can't wait for what's in store for me. I went down to the infirmary.
So I think the alchemy knob can be pretty useful. Normally I don't go above about a quarter of a dB to a half. I use a lot of de-essers and like high-end 2 BQs rolling off 20K, so I don't need to shape that top end too much, but I think it does add a little bit of separation up there for the clipping, which is nice. So I'm going to set this about here, maybe style everything in, and then I'll show you this wet dry mix, which is pretty unique because they're linked. It's not like parallel to your traditional parallel, right? I guess theoretically it would be, but it feels different because it's moving them in tandem instead of having like one knob. I guess it is one knob, but you can unlink it, which is very different. Whatever. Check it out.
I can't wait for what's in store for me. She was dressed in white and wearing polka dots. She was dressed in white and wearing
To me, absolutely great deal. The real Lavra unit is $8,600 brand new. I would have to reroute so much of my stuff whenever I was ready to officially master something to have that ready versus drag and drop this plugin, which is a fraction of the price. I think it's amazing. The ability to bring down the ceiling without having to push your volume up a ton, the readings, the parallel, everything's really, really nice about it. The different models. I'll show you one more thing. Once you get this clipping set, the way that hits your final limiter is very nice. So let's just set this for the beginning here. And I'll bring in probably ozone.
Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. Well, I guess this is just what's expected of me. And I'm all jacked up on dopamine. No serotonin explosion coming for me. Wish I could describe what's happening to me. I took a drive through the old country just to find through the old country just to find what I might see. Through the old country just to find what I might see. My favorite thing was wearing polka dots. Man, I went
So you can see all these other plugins I got here. Tube culture, vulture culture, tube tech, pretty simple. Some isotope stuff, some plugin alliance stuff. This thing from SoftTube, I can't say enough good things about this. Golfos, unbelievable, wonderful. This one on this track, I only used it on the mids just to try and get that old school kind of vinyl vocal going on. DS, Cold Clip, ozone again. I don't know, I got some outboard gear too. If you have anything you want to see, leave it in the comments. I'm going to be making lots of more videos like this. If you want a free test master, hit me up. You can find me on Instagram at DinoJoe. J-Mike's as well on Spotify. 3 times distilled. That should be everything. This song's coming out in December of 2023. I will see you on the next one.